I'm born in silence from hammered fire, yet my voice calls crowds to dance in a ring of heat.
Steel pan.
That was quick. Yeah. I didn't even finish it. Let me finish it. I cannot speak words, but I sing the soul of the islands. That was quick.
Steel pan. Yeah, it's steel pan.
Can you start from the beginning?
I'm born in silence from hammered fire, yet my voice calls crowds to dance in a ring of heat. I cannot speak words, but I sing the soul of the islands.
I would have never guessed that.
Okay, next. This one, be ready.
That was really good. So what's going on, guys?
So what?
It's me, Haiti Leone.
And it's your girl, Jojo Renee, and you are tuned into episode 69 of Bite to Bullet podcast. And we have a lovely human being on the couch. Our first full Saban, because we had a half Saban. Tori, big up Tori.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have our first full Saban on the couch, but technically you are full Saban, but born in SM, but we're going to get into that. Yeah. But anyways,
what constitutes a full Saban?
That part. We're going to get into that too. But yeah, this is somebody who I've seen do his thing, especially for Carnival, whose energy is truly bright, even though they lose my fan for Carnival. And honestly, somebody I admire. We have Edsel, aka Vieira.
Hey, what's up?
Where that name come from?
Which one?
The second one.
Vieira.
It's my second name.
Oh, Vieira. That's such a unique name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same too. I haven't met too many. I don't think I've ever met anyone else in the world with that name. But
Me
Edsel, yes, I've met a few other Edsels, but Vieira, no.
Vieira.
But how you feeling, Vieira?
Veira.
Veira.
Yes.
Veira.
Yeah. Well, the only other person I know with the name is my father's father. So
Wait, on Saba, do they call you Vieira more than Edsel?
No.
Oh.
When
Why
I was
calls you Vieira then?
because you know me. So no, it's and it's true because growing up, that was the name that I was called. Edsel is my first name. However, the name that I was called growing up was Vieira.
Makes sense.
So now, as I got older, in the professional world, then I would say I prefer them to use Edsel because it was a whole thing about, no, you say my name this way, not this way. Or they would always spell it wrong. And I was saying, you know what, just use Edsel.
It's easier.
Yeah, just use Edsel.
So who is Edsel?
So when I hear Vieira, I was like, okay, I know it's someone that knows me. But Edsel is, I guess, he encompasses everything for the life. I love to laugh. I love to have a good time when I can.
I know.
As I've gotten older, I've learned to love my own company. So I have no problem being at home in my bed or on my couch and just being in my own space. And sometimes you crave those interactions with other people, but a lot of times it's like, look, I have a full day of catering to children. So when I go home, it's like, let me be in my own space.
Yeah.
Zen for a little bit.
I've never felt so seen. But I completely relate. Yeah, I do.
And then, let's get into this whole being born on Samaritan, because I don't know if I mentioned it on the pod before, but majority of Sabans, I don't know if it's majority, but are born in Samaritan.
Maybe from the...
Younger?
Yeah, maybe from the early 90s to the 80s. It was a lot more frequent in those times because obviously, even though there was Dr. Buchanan, who was, of course,
was my doctor.
Yeah, he didn't birth me, but he was my mother's doctor as well. So
Yeah.
which is why she gave me one of his names. Yeah, McAllister.
McAllister.
Wow.
That's one of his.
She had really loved Buchanan. But he was an amazing doctor.
Yeah, but they worked together for
Makes sense.
quite a number of years. So yeah. But yes, I was born on the island of Saint Martin, and yes, Saint Martin is a part of me because I lived there. I lived there for, I think, the longest of my life I've lived anywhere is within Saint Martin.
So what would you classify yourself? 'Cause I see you as a Saban.
Girl, I am a melting pot of so many things.
Yeah, I hear it.
Because even though I come from a Saban mother, I also have an Antiguan father. And St. Martin has infused so much of the person that sits in front of you now. But that doesn't take away from what Saba has given to me as well. So
Okay, so then growing up.
I could say something. Y'all didn't say what you wanted to say about why people be born on St. Martin.
Oh, well, the main thing I wanted to note was that most people just not born on Saba. But the reason people born on St. Martin is because the epidural, right? Like,
yeah, well, not only that, I think too, it's a lot of being safe.
yes.
And having sufficient,
Facilities.
the proper facilities to care for if in the event of a worst case scenario. But there are a lot of babies that are born on Saba as well. But in these times now, it boils down to the mother's parents, or the parents or the mother's decision if she wants to stay or she can go to St. Martin, or in certain situations they fly them to Curacao because they have a NICU and all. But in my mother's situation, her pregnancy with me was very difficult. So there was no way that she was going to have me in Saba. I was almost 11 pounds. So for the little short lady that was my mother, she had to have a cesarean with me. So Saba. If there was, if the government at that time had allowed it, Dr. Buchanan probably could have done the surgery in Saba, but again, safety, facilities and stuff. So
yeah,
St. Rose Hospital,
St. Martin.
Yeah, I think my mother was born there.
Yeah, a lot of us. Our fun fact: a lot of us that were born in St. Rose Hospital, our names are in those plates that fill up the arcade.
Oh,
that's so cool.
I've been there.
I don't know if they're still there or they've been removed, but a lot, if not all, or probably majority of the people that were born there, when you walk and you look down, the names are in the plates all throughout the arcade.
I can be not a St. Martin by asking this. Because in my head, I picture in St. Joseph, but where is it's around there? Oh, okay.
St. Rose Arcade. How to explain it? You know where Holland House is?
Oh, yes.
Down from Holland House.
Okay.
Well, before we start, actually, I want to get into this with Gerardo because I'm really curious about our response. Okay, so courtesy of my mother, by the way, big up you. She said y'all all tall, so she wanted to do one that incorporates height.
Okay.
Well, size, if you ask me. So she said, would you rather be tall and see danger coming from afar, or really small and hide from it? So if you're tall and see it coming from afar, you know, okay, I got time to run. If you're small, you can hide from it. Don't ask me how tall or how small.
Let me stay with the tall, and why I say that, because that's technically been my life. I've been fortunate, or blessed, then I would say, to see stuff before it comes. And this stage of my life, well, after the death of my mother and going through that whole process, it's forced me to be more in tune with me and that vibe and like trusting your instinct. So I've been blessed to like see and feel when trouble coming and like exit stage left.
Got you.
So
and you Haiti?
Because to me, if you could see the danger, you could also hide.
But you really tall, like we're not like normal.
Also, because I tall, the danger could still attack me.
Yeah, but now you could just run from it. So it's either you run from it or you hiding from it.
Oh wait, that also means that the danger could see you because you're so tall. Like
yes, you're really tall. So it's not human like. So if you're really small, you could probably fit in that box. I would be small. I love playing hide and seek. Like, no, high key.
I have a fear at heights, so I feel like if I'm really tall, that means that I won't have the fear anymore.
That's a really cool take. But now you fear what's coming.
You could watch the floor, could touch the floor.
Okay. Which one you would pick?
I was gonna be so petty. I was like, I thought you tall already.
No, I said super tall.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
she's contemplating like, okay, do I respond? You didn't see that danger coming.
I'm not going to respond.
Silence is the best response.
But no, I relate in the sense of like I feel like that been my life. I could see shit, and maybe
I don't ever know what it would be like to ever be small like that. But and even thinking about it, I was like, I don't know if I would feel okay being that small.
But also not okay with running.
That was so much fun. I would jump in, like climb up somebody's pants or something just for fun. Just for, like I would be an asshole. Sorry, apologies. But anyways, okay. And then in BTB branding, song of the week.
Oh, call me by your name. Shower Tears, Cardi B. Am I the drama? Oh, call me by my name. Oh, that was a ratchet song. Sorry.
I mean,
so we got Shower Tears. By Cardi B and Summer Walker.
Maybe you should do that. Ratchet song of the week.
Oh no. What for our playlist?
Ratchet song of the week.
Ratchet song of the week.
What would be your ratchet song of the week?
This week, one of the songs from the album.
Oh, okay.
But I ain't finished listening to the album. But I had like Outside. But I think I put Outside on the thing already. I put Outside on our playlist already from Cardi B.
But was it a song of the week?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. But my song of this week is Sacrifice from Mariah the Scientist. I've been really listening to her.
Mine is Move from Adam Port. It's a song that was rinsed, but I don't mind rinsing it again. But he goes like, move. Like he's like, ooh. It's house. Yeah, three step been getting me into like house, but yeah.
Which Mariah Carey?
No.
That's why you said the scientist.
No, you talk the scientist.
Yeah,
that's a new Mariah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyways, how has it been? Because I feel like I know you on Saba, but you have that boat experience of Saba and St. Martin. What was that like?
Okay, well, Saba, even though it's a small island and we were exposed to a lot of things, maybe not as dramatic as other places, but we still were exposed to a lot. So, however, my mother was one that tried her best not to shield us from stuff. So I grew up with a household or environment where you knew what responsibility was, what was expected of you, and how to step out into the world. So going out there, you know how sometimes you hear some people say, you know, they had a whole phase, or, you know, when they went away to school, like they wild out.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Okay.
And
you feel like it's because you was exposed to just wilding out from small?
I will. Maybe not put it like that, but it's that
you didn't have that curiosity that was shielded by
because
limitation.
My mother made us very independent from a young age. So at least from my part, there was no need to like go buck wild, that kind of way. If I'm making sense, obviously, you as human beings, we are naturally curious and you want to experience certain things, but there was like no rush to like, I want to live my life. I have to be here. I have to do this. It wasn't none of that. It's like, okay, new experience. Okay, you take it with a grain of salt. It's like, all right, but living in St. Martin, it forces the inner gangster in you to be ever present. And I don't say that to, put a bad stain on St. Martin, but because you have to deal with so many different personalities, you are forced to not be so naive. You're forced to not be so doe-eyed. Because
what word was that?
Doe-eyed. Okay. So, for better words, you're forced to not look at everything and Bambi and be like, okay, everything is so nice because everyone and everything is not going to be nice.
Make a switch up.
Yeah, and the earlier you learn that, the better it'll be for you. Because if you present yourself to be someone that is naive and stuff, people will walk over you. They will take advantage of you. So, St. Martin forces that out of you. So you got to know yourself, know what you're about, know your vision, where you're going, and be about that and work on that. Try not to get too distracted by the other stuff. And St. Martin has a lot of distraction. You can party every day of the week. Unlike Saba.
Sorry, we don't really have much thing.
Yeah.
I have a funny question though. It's an odd question. If you had to take traits from Saba and traits from St. Martin and make it to like a Sabarton, what would you take? Sabarton, or Sababa?
It's all like you're trying to say St. Martin, we got stuff in nose.
Right, Sabarton. It's either that or Saint Maba. Saint Maba.
From Saba, I would take the community aspect. Well, from my time growing up was different too. When Jody came around.
Lord. No, I hear it though. Because now I know the difference in age.
Yeah.
And not to put you on blast. No, I know. But yeah.
But the sense of community from Saba. The cultural heritage, I would say, that's kind of from both, I would say.
Yeah.
In the independence that Saba gave me in my upbringing.
How did it give you independence? Well, no, let me let you finish. Your St. Maba.
But from St. Martin, like that real tough exterior, the real independence of, being in your adulthood, living on your own, that hustle mentality of working and providing for yourself and building something, creating a life, career, relationships, whether romantic or networking, my artistic realizations. While the artistic spark started in Saba, the fruition of it happened in St. Martin.
That makes sense because there's more spaces for
it.
it.
There was more space.
In Saba, we would have a dance teacher. They would come for like a week and then they're gone.
I was just
gonna
say we never had something consistent.
But I was curious
in my time that was not possible because initially, performing arts was what I really wanted to study, but in those times that was not something that was available or even looked at as a possible career. So.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of conversation.
Yeah.
But I was like, in any of the arts, like how were y'all catered to then?
There was visual arts. So that was painting or drawing or stuff. And then home economics is another art. And that's what I ended up going into professionally the first time around. That's why I studied culinary arts. And
And that was via school.
Yeah, that was via school. But the performing arts came late. I got an opportunity to like really do some training and perform and that stuff, but that came way after. But now I'm happy to say that they have taken the arts more serious. So like there's institutions like Child Focus Foundation that, you know, encourage, you know, training in steel pan and choir and, you know, playing multiple instruments and stuff. And it's also infused into the school. So I'm happy to see that that it's happening now.
Yeah, I feel like for me when I was younger, it was more sports.
Yeah.
Like you could sign up for more sports, but it had kind of the same pattern of like the arts where it wouldn't last. Something stuck, like volleyball, basketball, those things stuck, but we would have like at one point we had softball, but then it didn't really continue for us at least. Or we had gymnastics never continued. We had judo never continued. So there was always this pattern of things starting and not. Yeah. So like you could have an ambition, but you could never really like stick to it because you don't have the space for that. But then how you feel like you was able to further express yourself in St. Martin?
Well, at the time there was motions dance and in Bali.
What year are you in motions?
Ooh, good to know. She really sent me to think.
Yeah. You were an adult already?
Yeah.
And it was called motion.
It was motion.
Because you was also at motion.
Yeah.
Emotion was still there. I
That
think
is
with
crazy.
probably in the last 2 years before they merge.
That's when I left.
No,
I left in 2010.
no, I was before that. So
y'all probably
No, not
crossed paths.
2010. Maybe 2000.
for me, 2003 to 2005 within that thing for me.
We probably did overlap. Well, we definitely did, but I don't know what you were doing.
The Susha also used to come to Saba too. I think it was every weekend or every other weekend or something like that. She used to teach in Saba as well for a number of years. But that was in the 90s. And like she said, start and start.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to St. Martin, that was something that I was like, okay, you know what? Let me see if I could step back into it. But yeah, I came back to St. Martin on Stasha, and one of the guys I was working with, he was like, you just dance? And he was a dancer. And he encouraged me to like get back into it. And he was like one of the main reasons why, because I had someone that was in the same familial environment. It's like, okay, we can go to dance class together, and I have someone to like, you know, do it with. So,
and then what get you into the carnival aspect of things? Because I really know you for your carnival costumes.
Well, my mother had to take the blame for that. The stories that I've been told, she was pregnant with me because, September 1st, I was born, and carnival is usually the second or last week of July. So she was heavily pregnant with me, and she escaped the hospital to go. And
wow.
Sorry, ma, but
she said I go fat, and this baby go fat with me.
She escaped hospital to go and participate in the fat. So it was in me before I even came into this world. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. And then you just get into like, because what do? You design the costumes, but you don't design the costumes.
In the earlies. So like when Miss Carmen was like big time with the Scouts.
By the way, Miss Carmen is the veteran of Carnival. Okay. She is the one who brought Carnival to Saba, essentially.
Correct. So she had a Scouting Club, Boys and Girls Sports Society. Yeah. And you know what Pathfinders is, right? Well, basically that was Saba's version of the Pathfinders. And so she was like big into that. So there's where like the fundamentals of like learning how to put things together came about. But then again, you move away from certain things in your childhood, and then when you become an adult, certain things bring you back to those foundations.
Yeah.
And living in St. Martin, that is what allowed me to get back into those things. Because a lot of times you're backstage and you're doing shows, you don't have the luxury of having a on-site costume designer or builder. Sometimes you got to be the one tacking and sticking and gluing and hemming your own costume. Sometimes minutes before you even have to go out on stage, you have to be fixing something. So there and then, that is where, and a lot of those shows I've worked backstage with drag queens. So you learn tricks of the trade. If you're conscious of the fact and paying attention, and you're just being a sponge and absorbing the information, is that you learn, you know. So that's where all those talents started to like come into play or be reinforced.
Got you.
So then, of course, Carnival in St. Martin is happening. And over the years, I've chaperoned a lot of girls for pageants and stuff. So all of those things, again, you learn costume building, and you learn a couple stuff. And that was then.
Yeah.
But now coming to Saba and doing that, there have been times where I have, but I say, you know what? I prefer to have someone else do it.
Yeah.
I can do it for myself, but to sit here and I don't want to go through that mess. So it's like,
I understand.
I come with the concept. I just literally like sketch it out or design it, or I pull my reference photos and I come to you and I say, okay, this is what I want. This is the dimensions I need. This is what it needs to look like, etc. And then we create.
Go from there.
Yeah, we go from there.
Okay. Okay. And then for you, as in like, you went from, well, you started with I don't know what you started with essentially, but I didn't see you in the Red Cross until like a bit later. So how was your journey transitioning from, a whole strong cultural performing persona to now something that becomes more serious?
Well, that was in part to Lisette Riley. She was the manager or director of the Red Cross at that time. And she was instrumental in recruiting a lot of the younger ones. So we were junior brigadiers.
Yeah.
That's how I got into the Red Cross. And this is 20 some odd years ago. So that was how it was. And I was a part of it. And then when I left Saba, I volunteered with Red Cross organizations wherever I was, or I tried to. And St. Martin, I wasn't able to like directly work with them, but like I volunteered with the AIDS Foundation, and sometimes they would collaborate different projects together. So I still try to work around it. But when I moved back to Saba, then is when I was encouraged to like come back into the fold and stuff.
And now you work mainly with youth. What exactly do you do? Explain to the people then.
In which capacity?
Because I know you work in the capacity of like childcare and the youth on the island.
Yes. That is my full-time job. I work for the public entity as who's actually that word? A social pedagogy media worker.
And media worker. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, a social worker.
Basically, so yeah.
And because I know when I was on the island, so what I noticed, like in high school especially, the more my class, how would I say this? The higher classes were always the rougher classes in a sense. And the lower you get to the classes, you get more of the quiet kids or whatever. But now I noticed that inversed. So you had the quiet classes and then it got more to the rowdiness. Like on the island itself, how do you see the state of the youth? Because you deal with them so much, so I would feel like you have like more of a insight.
I want to be mindful of my word choice.
It's bite the bullet.
Okay, but I'm always going to say what's on my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be tactful is the word. Tactful.
Got you.
Tactful.
Hey, lovely people. Just a quick pause before we dive back in.
At Bite the Bullet Podcast, we know how hard it can be to get your work seen when you're building as a creative or as a business. This is why we've opened up ad spots on our platform.
We've built this platform and we would love to share it with you guys. Think of it as placing your flag in the middle of the conversation and waving it to our global audience.
Hit us up to get the ball rolling at info@bitethebulletpod.com.
Our details will be in the description below. Not me with my sandwich.
I feel that when it comes to the young people of Saba, that there is a lot of room for improvement. However, I also believe a large part of that plays into parenting.
Yeah.
And this is not me throwing shots at the parents, but speaking from a caregiver, teacher, however, perspective, technically we have your kids longer than you do in a day span. And we can see who gets that nurturing and that loving and that caring, that interaction at home. Because when they come through that classroom door, a lot of times they would attach to one particular caregiver, or they come to you and they crave that attention.
Yeah.
And so it is then our job to try and reinforce those ties, but also try to engage you as a parent to back up what we do. A child's first teacher is their parents.
Facts.
So we should not be the only place where that foundation is laid. And what I realize now is that they are chucking that responsibility onto the teachers and the caregivers and the parents. Some of them are trying to distance themselves away from that responsibility as much as they possibly can. So, example, it is a business. It is a service that is offered. So we open our doors at 7 a.m. and most days we close at 5:30. Fridays we close at 5. So there are some parents before 7 o'clock, they're there waiting for you.
Yeah.
So we get in, set up the classroom, and sometimes those kids are there till 5:30. So imagine your child, your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old, 4-year-old, that is without their parents for 9, 10 hours a day. Don't you think that is a disconnect for them? Because even though we are familiar, we're still strangers to them in a sense. If I'm making sense, you are their familial bond. You have those blood ties, that connection, and at those ages, it's very important to build and interact with your child as much as you possibly can at those very impressionable ages. Because after the age of 6 is when the child is basically formed. Yeah. Their personality is going to be who they're going to be. And after that, there's very little that you can do to shift that. I don't want to sound
pessimistic.
Yeah.
Or negative.
I want to be objective.
But I feel like we talking about Saba, I think, but it's worldwide at this point. So I don't think you should
shy away from
it being as specific to Saba. I think it's just worldwide an issue right now. But I was so you're a social worker within a school, or okay,
but it's a department of the public entity.
Okay. Because I don't know how it works on Saba, so I'm trying to paint the picture of, because I know on St. Martin you have schools and then you have a care team. So I'm picturing that. You're part of the care team, or?
There is a small care team, and then it's separate from the actual institution.
Okay.
So
I get what you mean.
So y'all have a separate building. Where's the building? In the public entity?
The former governor's residence.
Oh, yeah. It's right next to my house.
Yeah.
That's the daycare.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Absolute childcare.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said,
What they call it, absolute childcare.
Yeah, that's the name. But it's a department in the public entity, much that you have census and finance department, you have the education department. So
what ages?
Childcare.
What ages do you deal with mostly?
Initially on my side, well, the classroom I'm in right now, I deal with the 1 to 2 year olds, but generally we are tasked with 0 to 4.
Okay.
And then there is also the BSO, so that's the after school kids. So that's from 4 to 12.
I hear so many Dutch terms. It's crazy.
We have a lot of,
girl.
I mean, municipality of the Netherlands. A lot of institutions, especially public entity, because that's the government essentially. So most of those institutions carry, a lot of just Dutch names.
I thought it was so funny because when I went to Saba in 2014, I was like so shocked to see like the belasting deeds, like the ministry, the blue ministry signage outside in Saba, because up until I had moved to Holland in 2013, I never saw that sign.
I never heard BSO until I live here, to be honest.
BSO,
Which stands for like Buitenschools Opvang.
But that comes along in terms of upgrading the staff, upgrading the quality of care and education provided. So way back when, it wasn't that long ago, we did a twinning program with KinderNet from here. So they would send, they initially sent to, I would say colleagues to come and work with us. And after that 2-month period, then 3 of us came to the Netherlands to do the same thing. So that was what was happening. So they signed a partnership. So they helped to train, facilitate, give information and stuff. So that was like a real transformative period, because it opened, at least for me, opened my eyes to a lot of things. Because, example, what I found very good is that here, at least at the time that I was doing my turn, the fathers were a lot more involved with their kids when it comes to childcare versus when, say, but it's the other way around. It's more so with the mothers.
Yeah.
And what I like is that there's no child here in the Netherlands that goes to these programs every day. And not all day either. So, and the parents take an active role in talking to the teachers, talking to the caregivers, and, asking, how is my child today? Or they try to establish a relationship with that classroom teacher.
Okay, so if you had to, I would say, suggest to parents, not only on Saba, but I think in the Caribbean in general, because like Haiti say, these problems are essentially worldwide. But what would you advise them to do to kind of better that connection between them and the kids?
Prioritize.
Prioritize?
Prioritize. Sorry. Prioritize. Because you having a child for what reason? Just to say you can procreate?
That part.
Are you just doing that just because? Now that the child is here, what is your intention with the child? Are you sure you are up for the responsibility of guiding, building this future adult? Are you aiding them in becoming a effective person in the community? Or are you just punning them off on the education system with the hopes that they don't become a statistic? That kind of way. And when I say that, it's like, okay, you send the child to us for however many hours. When we come, there's an app that we communicate to the parents with. So we post their daily routine, when they get up, when they sleep, when they eat, you name it. Everything that we do, every activity, we take pictures, we post it so they are aware of what's happening throughout the day. There's no interaction. So you just post it. They may or may not see it. There's no communication. So if we don't bring up a topic, then there is
They
no
won't gauge it.
So when we have our parent cluster meetings, it's like you have these meetings so you are aware of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We try to build or establish those relationships with the parents. So it's like, to help us too, no?
Yeah.
This is at the end of the day, this is your child.
I was thinking, because as you were speaking, I was trying to establish like what was the difference between parenting back then and now. And I guess like I would say the older generation, they felt like having a kid. It was also
Procreation.
But I came with like toxic things, right? So like feeling like this is my predecessor. They have to like carry on my family name, da 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 da. But I feel like it did come with a level of feeling like this is my biggest responsibility of making sure I raise this person to be a good adult.
Yeah.
But along the way, when I think about the new generation of parents, we kind of changed that mentality of like, I'm creating a child to be their own person. In a way, sometimes, of course, we still have the levels of like, this person is my predecessor. But I feel like parents nowadays feel less of, depending on the cultural context too, that we kind of lost that. Like, I need to raise this person to be like such an respectable adult, more so focusing on the fact that I just had a kid. I feel like a lot of parents nowadays, it's just about having the kid and feeling like they fulfill their duty as a human being nowadays, but they ain't taking the step to think further than that. Yeah. That you don't have to raise them to be a respectful adult just because it's linked to who you are, but just because that's important for society. Correct. I feel like parents don't think about that. But it still depends on the cultural context. Because like here in the school I work in is a lot of Muslims, and then that's also just a very different world because they do a lot of things out of their religion, etc., etc. But I still
I understand that, and I also taught the line very carefully with that because I struggle with that sometimes too. And the biggest time I struggle is when we were doing this high scope training. And high scope is all about using your inside voice and coming down to their level. And, you don't really have like a reward system, they would call it. Or you're not highlighting what the child did wrong. You speak on all the things the child did good. And I'm like, realistically, that's not the way the world works. Because the world does very seldomly focuses on the stuff that you do good.
Facts.
And while I agree that you shouldn't always focus on the bad, I don't think you should shield your children from everything because there are certain lessons that they need to learn.
Big facts.
Earlier than later.
Yeah.
But do you think children are coddled nowadays?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
But I also feel like we don't get our feel aspect. Who don't listen does feel. I feel like we don't have the spaces to get a feel.
With this whole new structure that they come up with, and I make a remark like that, they will look at me like, "What's wrong with you?"
What?
Who don't listen does feel. And I'm like, a case in point, you tell the child get up on the chair, and you say, "Calm down, calm down." Oh, let's say, "Johnny, calm down." The child look at you and continue doing it. "Johnny, calm down from there." Once, twice, 3 times. Now for me, I find I speaking too much. So then the chair comes off balance and Johnny falls down. Then he look at you. I say, well, you didn't listen, so you had to feel.
Exactly.
And however, the structure is like, no, you have to go and support them and comfort them. And I'm like, no, that is coddling a child. Because what that says to the child, okay, that regardless of what I do, someone is always going to rush to my aid and comfort me. And
then they take advantage of that.
Exactly. And I was like, these children are hella smart. They know what they are doing. They know what they're about.
But I think they just don't like consequences. So I'll be very honest. I think I realized but my group is more teenagers. Consequences to them feel like you're attacking.
I'm so sorry.
You're attacking, you're threatening their existence. So, for example, same example with Johnny on the chair. if you tell a teenager in my school, if you don't come down, you have to get sent off to the class, or I'm going to, I don't know, call the team leader or something. Also, you threatening me? So you threatening me? But it's like the concept of like what a consequence is of your actions or just being disciplined in a moment is not a concept that they're aware of. And it's like a disconnect. And of course it's not everyone, because as you first start to say, like you could really tell which students like have a very stable or just very well disciplined at home environment, and then the ones that don't, or just the ones that actually do but just acting out very differently in school. Yeah. But it's just, I just realized like I don't, just the concept of consequences, you just don't grasp.
I have a question. How y'all dealt with consequences as a child? I cried. As in like, I would, when I was the annoying child of like, whenever I would get disciplined, my result is I could just start crying because I did something bad and now I'm in trouble. You know, like my sister would just stand there and take it and she'd be like, okay, and I did that and what? But for me, it was always a case of like, oh no, I'm in trouble. For y'all, how was it like taking discipline as a kid?
Props to you, Elisha. I listen, girl. I didn't have that gangster wasn't in me at that time. I'm sorry, because the household that I grew up in, you know who was the one in charge. So but I was never the child to question her or try to, what's the word? Try to rebel against her. No, because there are some children who have the fear of their parents, and then there are children that you have to put the fear of them into. Yeah. And this is another area where me and the trainer for this high school kind of were at odds, because I was of the mind, okay, you can take a little bit from both eras and mesh them and make it work. But they want us to do away with the old school stuff and just implement. And I was like, no. I was like, I got consequences. I said, I got licks too. And I said, but I didn't grow up to be no horrible person. I said, I'm not no criminal in the world. And I said, so, but the thing is, the licks were never the first thing. There was always a warning. There was always a series of other stuff that happened before the licks came. Yeah. And I said, it was never out of frustration. It's like, okay, this is what happened. This is what you did. And these are the consequences. So you knew to act right and not do certain things.
Bye. Wait, and then how was it for you?
I feel like my parents were very clear of what consequences was. Yeah. However, just I was being a child of curiosity, I would just still do it and deal with the consequences later. But I wasn't I don't remember being a crybaby at all.
Oh, I was such a crybaby.
A crybaby in the sense of complaining.
Oh no, not like that.
Oh, why?
Nah, I would just cry.
Listen, I would cry too, because it's like, because that morning, every morning before I left the school, I signed to school to learn. Please shut your mouth, listen to the teachers. Do not let them people have to call me off of my job. That was ever present in my head. And listen, I was severely bullied primary school, high school. It was not a pleasant experience. So I took all of that for years upon years upon years, because do not let the people have to call me up to that school off of my job. And I know my mother was serious about what she said. Yeah. And that went on until I think I was probably second form. Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
So you went school second form?
Yeah, second form. It happened in Spanish class, but
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
It happened in Spanish class, but they'd still gonna know. Because my form was her first
class.
Her first class.
Got you.
In high school. And the antagonizer was her brother.
Okay.
So he and their older brother.
Yeah.
And a cousin of their own had been my tormentors for a time. And that day I just had enough. And she said something in Spanish in something she was explaining the term in Spanish. And I asked her if she could repeat it. And then he said to her in Spanish, but you don't see that as a dummy or something along those terms. And I said, what? And he repeated it. So at this point, I stood up, and he stood up, and he pushed me into the window. So it was those windows that you had to push up.
Yep.
And he pushed me into the window. So I kind of like got stuck in the window, and the whole thing shattered. And it was on like popcorn from there. And I don't know, just like something else took over on me. And it was like, for what? The last 7 years, everything, it just came out. And Spanish class is upstairs. Yes. So they literally drag him from upstairs all the way down. And it was like through the courtyard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big thing.
Yeah.
And we ended up in the the admin's office. And I feel so bad for her after, because looking back at it now, it's like I went a little too far.
But that was years of just built up.
And literally, I was like a bull. I was like, didn't see anybody else. I was like after him, and literally like tore up that woman's office. The cast and everything was like thrown down, and everything. And like the teacher, she was in there and like trying to get in between the two of us, and that didn't matter because I kind of like pushed out to the way, and I was like going after him. And while all this is on, they called my mother. So she calls. I can see her now in her multicolored scrubs. And she comes into the office, and she's like, and she's just looking at me. And it's like just the sight of her that like put me on mute. I was like, oh, shucks.
Problems.
This about to get serious now.
Yeah.
And she didn't know how far it had gone. So then after we came out of the office and I had begun to literally, I was like crying. And it's like, this is what been happening. And this is how I'm feeling. And da-da-da-da. And I said, he's been doing this to me for how many years? And da-da-da. And I said, I did what you told me to do. I tell the teachers, I didn't hit back. And I was like, at this point, I had enough and I didn't know what else to do. And I said, he pushed me into the window. And and like, she like let me get it out of my system. And I still got punished, but still. Because...
With regards... Oh, you could continue.
No, go ahead.
With regards to the bullying, did it stop after that? As in, or at least...
He got more creative.
Okay.
He got more creative.
So side note, you also fight in small school.
Shut up, man. It's
I was thinking
big
that.
school that he fight.
No, I didn't have the security in myself.
Yeah.
At that time. I didn't, and for a lot of other reasons, but yeah, there was nowhere that I could have defended myself at that time.
Understandable.
I'm curious to like, you had asked that question in regards to like school or at home or both. As to like how we used to deal with consequences, Jody.
Home wise, you meant?
Yeah,
with
like
consequences.
Yeah, with your parents. Well, the first consequences in your life, which essentially is your parents, like how you dealt with consequence. Did you see it as, oh, they threatening me, or did you see it as? I had moments where I saw it as, I know they're doing this for my greater good, but in the moment I don't want to believe that. They just annoy me. Sorry, mommy and daddy. But, like, there's different ways kids take consequences.
And what would happen? You would cry and then not do the consequence, or cry and do the consequence?
No, the consequence, I mean, as in they would start yelling at me because scolding. For me, scolding is one of the consequences. And when I get scolded, especially by my father, I just start to cry. You know my father. And he's a lovely man. Daddy, we love you. But... you have that like level of like, you just fear your parents sometimes a little bit. So my automatic response is, if I cry, I look more fragile, but I'm also sad because I did something bad. But like other consequences. So if I can't go out, or like because I ain't cleaning my room or whatever, you can't go with your friends, I would be upset, but I wouldn't necessarily cry because then I would get in trouble. But it's more so like how you take consequences by terms of your parents scolding you or, taking away your phone, I guess. I just wonder how it differs amongst people.
this fancy life. You see indicative of the times because I didn't have that. Me growing up was pre-internet. So I ain't had no thing about taking away stove and that type of stuff. No, sir. I didn't have that. It was like getting there and go in your room or go read a book or something, and you want to stamp. Don't stamp. Don't slam no door. Don't do nothing because what coming after not gonna be nice. So go in there and stuff your head in your pillow and shed your tears like that because then for sure it's gonna be worse.
But I have a question. It's deep. If y'all don't want to answer it, you don't have to. But you talk about getting bullied. I got bullied in school. I don't know. I'm guessing you also got bullied in school. You mentioned it before, I think.
When I was in elementary or kindergarten.
For me, it was from like primary to high school. But like, what were some things that helped you throughout the experience of getting bullied? Like, how were you able to overcome certain beliefs they put in you, but also just the whole? Yeah.
This, you see, again, giving way to how things move. How I cope with it? Well, it wasn't in the best ways, to be honest. High school wise, I did try my life. But yeah, that was one way I tried to cope with it. Another way is like books was also something that I dove into to escape.
Yep.
You know, what was, else going around. Whatever sport they had, I played it. Yeah. Whatever club that was there, I was in it. Because it was just my way of escaping from everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like you could say something to somebody about it and expect it to be rectified because all that did was just intensify the situation with this person as antagonizing your spirit the next day because you still have to go to school. You still have to see them. There's no way that you're getting away from them.
Especially on Saba, you might leave school and you still see them across the road.
That's the thing. Yeah. So, and again, at that time, I was still forming, didn't believe I had the strength to like defend myself or anything like that. So it's like, okay. But then for, all other reasons that were happening, I was masking a lot of trauma. So it's like, if I felt I got into something with someone or tried to, I'll just say, maintain a relationship, it felt like she could see what was happening to me. This one could see what was happening to me. And I was like, didn't want nobody to know what was happening to me. So it's like, keep all this to myself. Friends was not something I really had. Yeah, the people people familiar, people you talk
Close
to.
Proximity.
But you can't really say that they're friends that you could sit down and confide in and say, this is what's happening to me. This is what I'm dealing with. No, because the culture at that time, more heavily so, was, what happens in this house stays in this house. And you kept your problems to yourself. Yeah. You didn't really go out and tell Johnny and Susie, what was happening in your house. So there was a lot of hiding and keeping things to yourself in terms of coping with all of that. And there were people that knew. Because it was plain to see in school, you're in school, 8 hours?
Exactly.
So it's not like something that could be hidden, but they will have to mind, okay, if he ain't saying nothing, well then they ain't bothering him.
That's true.
That kind of way.
But what would you say to, I guess, kids now, or what would you say to you at that point to maybe, I don't know, make you feel a level of support or also make you just understand?
Boy, bossy ass earlier. I
love that. I mean, we're not advocating for violence.
Sorry.
But no, but
sorry.
I hear it.
Sorry.
But you feel like you had the right support system to get through it?
No, I did not.
On all fronts.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something that is an attribute to Saba in itself or just the environment that you were born into?
Well, at that time, I thought it was an attribute to Saba and the environment that I was in. But as you grow up and you move apart in the world, you realize that that's all over the place, something else I was going to add, but it'll come back to me. But go ahead.
Do you think they have those systems in place right now, though, in Saba?
I would say so. There's a lot more than there was when I was growing up. So that's a positive thing. I remember what it was. Like you've always had people in places that are supposed to facilitate those things. But when I was growing up, I don't know if it was always, are they actually going to do something about it?
Yeah.
Am I telling you this and it's going to stay here and is vaulted, is never going to move? Or I'm just telling you and then, okay, you're just going to make notes and then, okay, you're just going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
So from my experience growing up, that's what it was. It's like there was never an action to like do something about it or try to offer the individual some type of support or guidance towards alleviating, maybe not all, but some form of the stress or the pain that you're dealing with. And it was never anything like that. So, which is in hindsight kind of reinforce my trust issues when it comes to being vulnerable and like telling people parts of my story, because it's like, okay, I'm telling you this, we're having this conversation. So are you going to use this information as a whip to like lash me with? Are you going to use what I'm telling you to, punish me in some way, shape, or form? Or are you actually going to listen to what I have to say and respond accordingly and say, you know what, I didn't think about it this way. Or, you know what, hearing you talk allowed me to look at something in myself and say, you know what, okay, maybe I can help you in this way. Yeah. It may not be the way to alleviate all what you're feeling, but, some aspect of it.
I feel like I go back to like the whole parenting thing of like, okay, you have the support system in school, which is a whole lot of conversation. But then you also have that at home, because the initial question was like, how did we deal with bullying? And I remember like the little instances I ever had of people doing me anything, I knew my mother would handle it. Like, I don't know.
They got Miss Glenda.
Like, I remember this one time, did I tell a story? That this boy in elementary school, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was harassing me. And my mother knew exactly where he lived, because he lived in town. And I remember my mother coming home. She was like, I deal with it. I said, what you do? She was like, I drive in town. I look for him. And I tell him, if you ever mess with my daughter one more time, it's going to be me and you. But I think my mother's also an educator. She worked in school.
Exactly.
That was, I don't know. So it's like, and also when I deal with it in like primary, in kindergarten, but that was my only instances. I always knew that I guess it's important for any kid dealing out there or parents listening to these kind of stories. I hope you build an environment or create an environment where your child knows like they're not alone and like come to me with this issue because I'm going to solve this for you, because that's my role. You know?
Take it seriously.
But the other side of it, I never told, like my parents didn't really know what was going on. And it's not because they didn't create the space for that. I just didn't want them to feel the pain of knowing that their child was being bullied. Like, I didn't want them to feel like now they have to go and solve something. I don't know. I don't really know the thought process I had as a kid fully, but I just know I didn't want them to know that I was being bullied. Like in school or when things would happen, if I come home and I'm a bit upset, I would just say something along the lines of, like it was a long day at school or something. Yeah. But I would never go in details about like what was happening at school. Yeah. And it wasn't because maybe I thought my father would overdo something, as in like he would really deal with it, not like terminate anybody. But but I just knew the main thing was I didn't want to, I felt like I was hurting my parents, telling them that I was getting hurt, if that makes sense. So I think it's also a case of like with certain parents to maybe, I don't know that you are actively making the space potentially, but maybe understand that in certain cases, you might not even be aware of like what your child is going through. And in some moments where say they have an unexpected attitude or like they're feeling down, I would say maybe open the conversation by saying like, if something is going on with you, or if there's something that you don't want to tell me because you're scared of how I will feel, like
But you feel like if they had do that, you would have still tell them?
The funny thing is, I do feel like they did that sometimes and I still didn't tell them.
Yeah.
But it's just a case of like, there's so many dynamics in a situation of the act itself. So I
agree.
It's like, there can't be one set approach. There's so many things that come into play, but
there definitely is. It could just be like how you view your parents, how you carry their feelings within you. There's so many things. It's hard to navigate.
My thinking was a lot like yours, Jody, and more so because it was a single parent household. So it's 5 of us that she's raising on her own. So outside of her regular job, she has like 3 other jobs. So I was thinking, like, okay, the last thing I want to do is to add more on top of that. So it's like, you know what she dealing with and what I'm dealing with is nothing compared to what she has to deal with. So it's like, let me not add more stress to her life and be complaining about something so this is my child mind about something so trivial. So let me just suffer in silence.
But a lot of children have that though. Like they see their mother or parents going through a lot in this world and they don't want to add or be a burden.
Exactly.
So I guess you just gotta be wary of that.
Okay, a little funny story. So the same I would say the final bully situation in my childhood, I would say. The same boy and 5 others one time after school, and but they caught me in, you know where Miss Carmen house is? Yeah. The little alley to go up by, okay, well I had run and they catch me there. And listen, I get some licks that day, you hear? I ain't ashamed to tell you, I get some licks that day. So, but Stacy and Miss Carmen, they already called my mother. And the thing is, I know this because at that time, it takes a village to raise a child mentality was very strong. So if you do something down the road, trust and believe before you go home, your parents don't know.
Especially on Saba.
Oh. Oh, listen. And it's funny now that is one of the things that you kind of miss. Yeah. You know, that familiarity. So anyway, so I decide to zigzag the road to make it longer because I already know what's waiting for me when I get home. So when I reached to the last neighbor's gate, I could see my mother standing in the window. I immediately started crying because I know that's me. I start to cry. Lord. And like she could see I was zigzagging. She's like, "Come, I'm waiting on you. Come." Yeah. Come up the steps, and when she grabbed me up, she's like, "That's why feeding you for? To go on the road to be getting licked, getting beat up from other people. That's why feeding you for?"
Oh, she's such a Caribbean parent.
She dragged me back down the road. We had to walk the bottom and look for them.
So you could beat them back up?
And we found them. And she went and she started to run off her mouth. And me in the back, Mama, don't just stop. No. Then she come back. She said, "Listen, you go back there, you go fight. and when you fight, you make sure you beat everyone. And if you don't fight, what I give you gonna be worse than what they give you." Oh. So I had to go and fight for my life. I was more afraid of her than I was of them. Yeah. And for all of you that knew my mother in her heyday, you know what type of personality she had, and she meant business. So I had to go back and fight. And fight for my life. And she stood right there and watched the whole thing. Wow. And then after that, I still got punished. Yeah. Because, we can laugh about it now. But the thing is, now I understand the lesson that she was trying to impart. Don't let people walk over you. And all it takes for you is to show them at least once that you're not to be messed with, and they would know the place.
And that was the final time. In a way.
Yeah. In a way. in my adulthood, I think maybe I've fought once, but I try not to get to this place.
Yeah.
If we can converse and say what you need to say and agree to disagree, I would prefer that.
Yeah.
From the time I feel that emotion where you're trying to pull me out of my character, I can walk away from you.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we are, well, the host and the producer, the podcast is quite female. So I feel like we are less likely to be told to go and fight. I feel like because you're male, you're expected to kind of show up a bit
strength
in the world. So I mean, essentially that lesson could be given to everybody else. My question is, how do you feel about that, knowing that if that were to still continue today, how would you approach it if differently? If in your situation, whether guy or girl were to be in a situation where they were completely beat, what would you advise moving forward?
What would I advise?
For every answer.
Because two answers came.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag because then there's Edsel the caregiver and Edsel the individual person. Now, Edsel the individual person would say, okay, if I know you, if I know the individuals, I can more or less gauge if they are able to like go after the whole group. So I would tell them, is like, okay, pinpoint one and make that one pay for all the others. Or if, added bonus, you can start with the weakest link and work your way up.
Sorry.
That's Edsel the normal person.
Yes. Now Edsel the caregiver.
You had to find a constructive way to defend yourself. And whether that be let your parents know or speak to someone that you trust is in charge or carries enough weight to activate a solution in this problem. I can't even sit out with a straight face.
That's the whole point of my question.
It was a good answer though.
Yeah, but I mean, because that's the only answer that there is to give based
Exactly.
on today's world and how they're raising kids. But that's my question then, because I feel like with men and boys, that interaction is probably even more intense to the part where it escalates way beyond where it should probably go. And that I feel is a societal thing. And my question now is, it's not even just to you then, because for professional reasons or for whatever, that's the general question. How do you deal with that situation?
Well, in general, in a professional setting, if you work with kids, you are supposed to communicate to kids that don't take it to a physical place. And so try to come to your caregivers, teachers, whoever, to make them try to find a way to mediate the situation. However, I agree. I think if I had kids at home, I think my mother used to always tell me that her mother tell her, if somebody fights you, do not let me hear that you did not beat them up. Because then I will come and beat you up. And you're going to get more licks than what
my mother had the same thing.
Give you. So then and sometimes it's so conflicting because it's like you see kids get hit and they retaliate. And then my role as a professional sense is to discipline both. But I understand why the person retaliate, you know?
For sure. And
so it's just a thing of like, I guess as a parent, you have a different response versus
the caregiver.
But a common response, is because my mother also, they came from Suriname, they come to NL, so she was bullied a lot. Yeah. She had the same thing. Her grandfather tell her, if you come home crying one more time, I'm going to give you something to cry about. And then she just turned into like Hulk Hogan and she was like, are you bring it on?
Because there's a lesson in that fighting and like as you say, not being walked over and fighting for yourself and sticking up for yourself. I feel like, yes, physical violence is not allowed. But like, you know, there is a lesson within that. If somebody physically attacking you, you should fight for yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I agree. And for listeners, watchers, we're not advocating violence. No. Hear us out. That's not what we're saying. Never. But what we're also saying too, there comes a time where words would only do so much.
Yeah.
And if it is your child is coming home every day and, oh, mommy or daddy, this one do this one hit me here, da 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 da. At what point do the words fail? And you say to your child, okay, you need to learn to defend yourself.
Exactly.
Because you are their parents, but you're not the only influence. And you're not going to always be around your child or children every day, all day. So there has to be a point where they need to learn the art or the lesson of how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes that takes being hit one too many times, where you just say, okay, you know what? Just sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to hit back. I'm sorry.
But also sometimes you got to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button.
I like that one.
Like, at what point do you stop watching and do you actually subscribe? Genuinely,
Correct.
people.
Like, subscribe, share.
Please, thank you. But I have to just bring it back to a lighter note. I honestly think these conversations are necessary because I myself am not a parent. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to be a parent in the future. But there's a lot of parents who may be unsure of just how to go about, things with their kids because there's only so much you feel you could do, but maybe there's some other takes that could help you take it to another level. Mm-hmm. Like y'all say, we're not advocating for violence, but we are advocating for sticking up for yourself because at the end of the day, that's what you need in this world. Mm-hmm. That level of grit, but also that level of realizing how you could diffuse a situation and how you could walk away from a situation.
And I think it's also important to add, because we kind of hinted in different conversations that like you could teach your kid that, but also create a space where they could come and talk about it as well.
100%.
And not that you had to hear a week or 2 weeks later. Because sometimes that happens if like parents don't pick up the phone and know the child had a whole fight on the road or something and a tram, that your child didn't come home and tell you that. So it's like it's important to learn both lessons, that you could stick up for yourself, but also know you're not alone and you have to have the conversations with people to know what's going on in your life, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But so I have a little game for y'all.
Ooh.
I got some riddles.
She got a game, yo.
My battery's on 3%, so hopefully we get all the riddles true before she dies.
I don't know.
No, but I don't mind it dying, guys. Let me walk home without a charged phone. It's okay. It's really, really okay. Okay, cool. So these riddles are quite, I would say they're not hard. So it's who answer first.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Then, we need all your buzzering sound. So, what's your buzzer?
Zzz.
I like that one. No, zzz. What's yours?
No.
I ain't gonna hear that.
No. Bah.
Got that. Okay, bong. Number 1. I'm born in silence from hammered fire, yet my voice calls crowds to dance in a ring of heat.
Zzz. Steel pan.
That was quick. Yeah, I didn't even finish it. Let me finish it. I cannot speak words, but I sing the soul of the islands. That was quick.
Steel pan. Yeah, it's steel pan.
It's
Can you start from the beginning?
I'm born in silence from hammered fire, yet my voice calls crowds to dance in a ring of heat. I cannot speak words, but I sing the soul of the islands.
I would have never guessed that.
Okay, next. This one, be ready.
That was really good, though.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
No, but the fact that you guessed that, what gave it away?
I said
hammered fire.
No. Well, my music calls people to dance
in a ring of heat.
In a ring of heat.
I didn't hear that music.
Okay,
it didn't say my voice. It said my voice calls crowds to dance in a ring of heat. Okay.
What's the ring of heat?
You're sweating because you're fetting.
The ring, your waist.
We usually dance in a circle.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Who does dance in a circle?
I thought you was dancing in a line.
No.
You mean when you playing the steel pan?
No, your waist.
Your waist.
Oh.
Your waist.
Dancing in a ring of heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bon. Okay. Ready. I come in season with a breeze and a name. I circle the islands but never play a tame game.
Carnival, hurricane. Oh, back. Carnival or hurricane?
Choose one.
Carnival.
No.
It was hurricane.
I mean, you can still get it back again.
Hurricane.
She was first. Too late. He gets the point. Okay.
Hey.
Next. 4 corners, 32 faces, bones that speak It knocks and smacks in different places.
Repeat.
4 corners, 32 faces. Bones that speak in knocks and smacks in different places.
Bzz. Dominoes.
Yep. Okay, 2-1. Are you ready?
Why? Keep going, you know. Okay, go
Okay.
on. I thinking about it. Like, I have to take me a moment to listen. What's going on? Okay.
I wear a cloud as a crown, keep secrets of the fire in my belly, and write new islands when I lose my temper.
Repeat.
I wear somewhere.
I know you know what it is, but you can't play. Because I know you know what it is. I wear a cloud as a crown, keep secrets of fire in my belly, and write new islands when I lose my temper. You writing it down?
Write new islands when I lose my temper. That what you said, right? Write new islands.
A volcano.
I know you was going to say that.
I was going to say Saba.
Oh, same thing. We have volcano. Okay, 2-2. Bong. This one, I like this one. I drink electricity but never rum, yet I make the road shake like thunder when Carnival calls me to come.
What?
I drink electricity but never rum, yet I make the road shake like thunder when Carnival calls me to come.
Bzz. Music.
No. Close.
I drink electricity.
But never rum.
That's Carnival.
No.
Bzz. I drink electricity but not rum.
Yeah, I make the road shake.
When Carnival drinks electricity. Is it a generator?
No.
A speaker.
No. Think of what has speaker music and generator.
Carnival truck.
A truck?
I was like, is it that simple?
Yeah.
But they're using a generator.
Exactly, we use
But
electricity.
he said a generator.
No, but it's not a generator. It's a trailer. A trailer, guys. A trailer.
I drink electricity.
So nobody got
Because they don't drink the electricity from a generator, even though it's not plugged into something, have electricity. So it's drinking electricity instead of rum. And they shake the what? Wait, hold on.
The road when
Carnival calls
I
me
would
to come.
talk truck, but I was like, it can't be a
Well,
truck.
nobody get
A
that one.
trailer.
I said Carnival truck.
No, but she said trailer. Trailer and truck is two different things.
Oh my God, a
How-
lorry.
No, it's the same thing.
What?
A carnival truck is a
What's the
trailer.
difference between a trailer and a truck?
The truck pulls the trailer.
But it's a carnival truck. Same. Yeah, but that's a half point because I give what you call it hints.
But we refer to the whole thing as a carnival truck.
Okay.
Yeah, say but we say trailer in SM, they say carnival truck. Okay, next. I stop traffic without a badge, chew hedges like breakfast, and wear a beard of stubborn grace.
True, what like breakfast?
Hedges?
Oh.
No, shush.
Okay, say it
Write
again.
it down so then you can show it. I stop traffic without a badge, chew hedges like breakfast, and wear a beard of stubborn grace.
The sleeping policeman.
No, he don't chew the hedge. No. You?
A stoplight.
No. Shush. Write it down so then I know if you had it or
repeat it
not.
one more time.
I stop traffic without a badge, chew hedges like breakfast, and wear a beard of stubborn grace.
I lost.
Let me give y'all a
I don't
hint.
even know what's hedges.
In Saba, they used to stop traffic. They are no longer really stopping traffic.
Oh, bzz, goats.
I was like, wow, are we talking? Okay.
That's what you had in your head? Yeah, the beard. The beard, a lot of them have beards.
I chew a hedge. That was the
The
first
chewing the
one.
heads, yeah, because they always chewing people bush.
Yeah.
So we was being specific to Saba. Okay, got it.
Y'all don't have goats in SM?
Not.
We got goats in SM.
Yeah,
You
right.
know
But
that
also
hill-
like
you know
in
that
different
hill-
countries.
You know that hill by what's that pond?
I've seen goats in SM.
I don't even know what you
I
call
never
that intersection anymore. It was like the last traffic light. One of the last traffic lights used to be there between 80 Village Road and then connected onto that ring.
Yeah.
Defiant?
Traffic light's
No.
still there.
Is it still there? I don't
Traffic
know.
lights.
I thought everything
What
was around the
intersection
block
she
now.
talking about?
The one with the bridge. That bridge on the main road with the Daily Herald. Like after you pass it, Daily
Cornfield
Oh,
Road, the
Cornfield.
Ring Road.
Yeah.
Not Pondville. Well, is it Pondville Road?
It's past it. Because when you pass it...
before. So also Edsel Shack, and then you reach the end, and then you got some mangroves.
You're talking about, I know what you mean.
That little back road.
Yeah.
That whole be full of
no, but this just Caribbean riddles.
I never personally see a goat stop traffic. Cows.
Oh.
I say, Martin is more cows.
Yeah.
Bon. Okay, last one. I am an empty house from the sea, but when pressed to your ear, I whisper the memory.
Seashell.
Conch shell.
It's conch shell or seashell? Nah, conch shell. Because seashell could be the flat one, or the chimp, and the...
But it's still a home. But it's a conch shell.
It's a conch shell, to be specific.
Because people actually move out of their shell to go into another one.
So wait, so then it's what, 5'4" or 5'3"?
I'm so confused of what the difference is with the shell.
When a seashells is the category, conch shell is the specific. So like seashells, conch shell goes under seashells. Yeah. So like you also have like that sea urchin looking shell. I don't know I don't know any other name of a shell other than a conch shell.
But typically the conch shell is the ones that they usually would put to their ear to like listen.
And to blow.
I never knew that.
What?
You can hear the ocean.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was a conch shell.
Yeah.
I really just call them a shell.
Those are the big
we don't
ones.
call it conch. A conch shell. But even on movies and stuff, like who's holding the conch? The conch.
The magical conch shell.
Yeah, because like when you gotta talk, it's like who's holding the conch shell.
Yeah.
Like you never see on TV they say a conch shell. Oh, of a conch shell.
Symbolic significance of a conch shell.
I don't know. All I know is one of the biggest shells. I'm guessing that's why they. But y'all did amazing, guys. This is my Caribbean riddle me this.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's how it was described.
But how you felt being on the pod?
I felt good.
Okay. Well, we happy to have had you. I think we had some interesting conversations.
Yeah,
and I hope it resonates with a lot of people, with parents, with the youth, with just anybody listening.
I was going to ask one more question before we end. Like, if you have to say, if there's one thing that's specific to say right now that the island would need in terms to maybe it's outside of everything we talk about, to facilitate the youth and everything, what would it be?
Fair opportunity across the board for everyone.
Ooh.
Without the nepotism, without, skin color.
Yeah.
Fair and merited opportunity. It not be a decision because my auntie is this person or my uncle is so and so, or because your parents voted for this particular person, that you being meritless should grant you the opportunity. I can't tell you the amount of opportunities that me, myself, and other persons I know that have lost because their auntie or uncle is this person, or because they voted for this particular party, that someone who's actually qualified to do this job is left without because of those reasons,
Okay. I like that one.
It's a good way to end it off.
Well,
yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And guys, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about this episode, and maybe if you have some opinions, anything you want to chime in, just drop it in the comments, and we'll catch you.
Be nice.
That part. We'll catch y'all bi-weekly on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.